out the week from who you've been. Can you win this war you're in? Is your point laborious, or will you rise victorious? Oh, take it or break it. Take it or break it. Take it or break it. Earn your throne.
Welcome to Take It or Break It, the Sports Takes game show of your dreams, your nightmares. I'm your host, Corbin Smith. Let's meet today's contestants. A freelance writer and reporter. It's Mike Piellucci. Michael, how are you doing?
Doing swell, Corbs. How are you?
I'm good. Mike just came back from Europe.
It's true.
What were you doing? What were you doing in Europe?
Honeymooning, Corbin.
Oh my God, Mike, you got married.
I've been married, but we both work in the wonderful field of sports, and it is very difficult to take vacation during football season, particularly with her profession. So we've been married.
She is, of course, an offensive lineman for the Dallas Cowboys.
Factually correct. She eats lots of ribs and just destroys defensive tackles every Sunday in the Jerry Dome.
Yeah.
Consequently, it is not too easy to get a Sunday off when you're busy, pancake blocking people on the Washington Redskins.
Yeah.
But now we could go, and we did, and it was delightful, and I ate a lot of good pasta.
Yeah, well, Italy. Where'd you go? Italy or
Italy, Switzerland, and capped it off with Paris.
Oh,
I talked in the airport. No joke. Before I left, he called me about a reporting thing, but we ended up talking about it. Talked to fellow podcast godfather Bob Silverman about Paris right before I left.
Oh,
yeah. Bob had Paris takes. The former
French clown Bob Silverman.
Indeed.
Current American clown, if you ask me. That guy. Well, wonderful. Mike, what do you? I'll ask you later. And two, our second guest, a writer, previously of Grantland, Spike Friedman. Spike, how are you doing?
Good. I just got back from Kentucky. Louisville, Kentucky.
Why were you
a little more exotic than Europe, I'd say.
Oh,
definitely
boy.
More culture.
Oh, we got off the beaten path. We the path. We were in Rhodelia, Kentucky for a while, a friend's wedding. Also went to Holiday World in Santa Claus, Indiana, America's first theme park. Now home to 3 epic wooden roller coasters and a B&M launched wing coaster called the Thunderbird.
Of course, roller coaster enthusiast Spike Friedman.
Oh, hey, we're talking coasters today, right?
What was that? What was the city where you went to a wedding?
Louisville?
No, Rhodelia, which I really love because you could totally see someone in Kentucky naming their daughter Rhodelia as well.
100%.
Yeah. Rhodelia, Kentucky is the most place I went to for a wedding name of a place imaginable.
You bet. I'm really hoping we're talking roller coasters. Yeah, I got takes.
What's the worst roller coaster?
Honestly, an obvious choice is the coaster at the New York Hotel and Casino. It's a Togo Looper. The Big Apple coaster, I think is what it used to be called. Now they slap a VR helmet on you, so you can't even brace yourself for impact. It's a bad ride, folks. I don't like Green Lantern at Magic Mountain either. That's another bad coaster.
Is that based on the superhero Green Lantern?
It is. Six Flags, deeply in the DC universe.
Yes. Is Kilowog in it at all?
Not that I'm aware of.
There's no Kilowog involved. Okay.
I would ride the Kilowog. What would that be? Would that spin you around and then shock you?
Yeah, I guess. And he's like, oh hell, we need to do something.
All right, yeah.
I think you should host the host the podcast exclusively in that voice, Corbin.
Hey.
What do you takes?
What do you take? Oh, I actually don't hate it. That's not good. How about this, Spike? Of the 2 roller coasters at Wild Waves, Which is the better one?
I forget what it's called. They've got an arrow looper that's fine. Washington State, it has just dreadful amusement park situation. It's a nightmare. Although you are close to Portland, which now has Adrenaline Peak and Oaks. You know what I mean? So
yeah, Oaks are lovely. I ride past there all the time. It's my
you got we talked about this, I think, on the last podcast. Have you been on Adrenaline Peak since then?
No, I don't. I'm spooked by roller coasters.
Well, get on it. Be a man.
What do you mean, really? Yeah, I have an anxiety disorder.
All right, I'm sorry. You didn't have to shame me like that, man.
Well,
honestly, hop on it, do a little silent meditation on your way up the lift hill.
Yeah.
You'll be good to go by the end.
Thank you. That's true. I need to use it as an opportunity to explore the limits of my Spike. That's your name. Spike and Mike. Pair of animation pioneers, of course. There we go. I made that joke. Done with that now. Okay.
Let's get into the show.
Think about that for 2 days. Okay, so guys, thank you for joining us. It's time to get to the gristle, but first we have to spell out the rules. Take It or Break It is a game where we discuss topics. A not bad take is worth 1 or 2 points, and actually good take is worth 3. Scorching hot take is worth 5 points, but beware, a garbage take is worth -3 points. Are we all understood?
Yes, sir.
Yup.
Wonderful. Question 0.
What?
Now, this is a Take It or Break It episode that is not about the NBA. We're trying very hard to not talk about the NBA so much today, but the finals are going on. So very briefly, did you not know? If you will offer a take on the finals, I'm willing to award you up to 2 bonus points for your take. Spike, you first.
Okay. I'm done with Kevin Love. I'm just done. I defended him for a while. I feel like I was defending him deep into this year by looking at some of the deeper stats and looking at well, he's not actually that much worse than he was in Minnesota. It's just his usage is pushing him further away, so his offensive rebounds are falling, but his rate stats are actually similar. I'm done. Why am I? So my take is, why was I doing that? That was dumb. Kevin Love is boring and annoying and not a good enough second option for this series to be as good as it could be. And why was I out there on a limb for Kevin Love? So my take on this finals is that it is a repudiation of me, Spike Friedman.
Yeah.
Respect for Kevin Love.
Yeah. Which sporting events aren't a repudiation of you, Spike Friedman, though? 2 points.
Oh, thank you. Stanley Cup Finals was the correct answer to that.
Mike, what do you got on the finals?
My take is multifaceted, which is one, if LeBron, and I said this before the finals, but it still applies now because the Cavs are still, alive. If they get one game, just one game, then we're playing by Iverson against the Lakers in the finals rules, which is that it counts as such a moral victory that it should stand the test of time because this Cavs team, whether or not LeBron engineered it, it's still hot garbage, and that Warriors team is awesome. Part 2 is that one finals game, I kind of wonder if it's the greatest moral victory in a finals in sports, because it really is just the Allen Iverson experience distilled of he never was ultimately triumphant doing what he did, but he just through sheer force of will and ridiculous ability became such a damn icon, even though, and there were a lot of rough edges and wasn't perfect. There's no way he ever should have been that good. And that finals complete with, the step back jumper over Tyronn Lue and then stepping over him and glaring at him, which was the single most Allen Iverson moment in the most Allen Iverson game in history, really lives on in such a fascinating way. I was saying this on Twitter yesterday, and I was going back and forth with a actual sports celebrity, J.A. Adonde, who, fun fact, was a graduate school professor of mine at USC. And he made the very good point that it was pre-social media, and yet that moment, that specific moment, lives on so much in social media, probably more than I don't know if there is one quite like that. Obviously, everybody remembers Jordan's shot against Utah, but nobody throws that up as a GIF or a tweet pic or just is constantly reminded of it. And so that one little moment is just such a damn triumph because Iverson sort of willed it to be that way. And I feel like that's coming back to now. If LeBron gets one damn game, like if he rips off 50 tonight and they win, that's a moral victory that we should just like give LeBron like a partial credit W for, because that team is such trash and that Warriors team is so good.
I totally forgot that the last finals game was tonight. Ugh.
Maybe last, maybe not last. We'll see.
Come on. 1 point, Mike.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry, but you didn't repudiate yourself enough.
I guess that really is the rest of the
self-flogging on this. Yeah. All right. Anyway, question 1. Baseball. Ow. Charge. MLB is in full swing, and I have not been paying attention because basketball is on. But according to a cursory look at a website, your current division leaders are Boston and or the Yankees. There's some really weird shit going on with their off days that has made the Yankees the leader. Well, technically, Boston has won more games. It's very strange. They're behind one, but they're still in the head of the division. It's very strange. Cleveland, Seattle,
hey,
the Washington Nationals, the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Arizona Cardinals. No, they're the Diamondbacks. I forgot the other ones are the Cardinals.
Also, the Milwaukee Bucks play basketball, Corbin.
Oh, really, Mike? I had no idea.
I didn't know if you did because you said they're leading the NL Central.
I know, they're the Brewers.
All right, just checking.
Ryan
just making
Braun
sure.
Played there.
Still does.
Still does.
Going,
God, sad.
Still hobbling along.
Very sad.
Yeah.
The question I have for you, my guests, who's going down? Baseball is notoriously fickle, a real here today, gone tomorrow endeavor. And at least 2 of these leaders are going down, and at least one in a way that will popularly be described as a collapse. So who's fucked, even though they don't know it yet? Piellucci.
I hate to be that guy, but it is the Seattle Mariners. Because a few reasons. One, they have like one pitcher that you reliably trust in that rotation, that being the big maple, James Paxton, which until everything happened with Spacey, I was very, very like miffed that they called him a big maple versus K-Pax because he strikes tons of people out and his name is James Paxton. K-Pax should have been the name. Now I think we're all cool with the big maple. That guy rules. Most everybody else in that rotation, not so much. Gonzaga product Marco Gonzalez is probably their second best starter right now, and I just don't really see that lasting. So you have that issue. You have the lineup, which Mitch Haniger rules, John Segura rules, but Robinson Cano suspended for most of the rest of the year because of PEDs.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so the fact that they're doing this well, like nobody really quite understands it because you have Cano out for the most of the rest of the year. You have Nelson Cruz who isn't hitting that well, but on one hand, it's, Nelson Cruz isn't hitting that well. On the other hand, he's 37 years old. You have Kyle Seager, who is hitting for power, but not getting a base, not hitting for average. On the one hand, it's, Kyle Seager's, of course, going to do that. On the other hand, he started declining a little bit last year, and nobody's totally sure. And it's not just like they're not a bad team. They're a very good team. The problem is that division has 4 good to great teams, with the great team being Houston, who, of course, are defending World Series champions, and now have the best rotation comfortably in baseball, in addition to, all of the bats that they had last year, and a bullpen that may be a little better. It's just hard. It's a combination of Seattle just looks so creaky, and there's so many ways it could fall apart. If not completely, but just to bump them down a few, notches of the division, combined with the fact that Houston's the most talented and most complete team in baseball. So it's going to be the Mariners.
3-point take, Michael. Maybe a little conventional, Could have said like,
I'm straight arrow. What can I say?
Yeah, you were. Of all the people I frequently have on this podcast, there really is no straighter arrow than Piellucci.
That is true. That is 100% true.
Spike.
I am furious. I'm so mad right now. I'm so angry. Okay, so I frequently come on this podcast to castigate my beautiful men from Seattle, the Seattle Mariners. I have gone on the litany of their failed draft picks multiple times on this podcast, listing every offensive player they've drafted for decades and enumerating their failures across a number of statistical categories. But I am here to tell you that, and I'm going to answer this question in an interesting way.
Oh.
I do not think the Seattle Mariners are the most likely of the teams leading their divisions right now to not be leading their divisions at the end of this season. And beyond that, I think given today's news specifically, I think the Seattle Mariners are more likely than not to make the postseason as a wild card team. Now let's get into it. The Seattle Mariners pitching staff is a little creaky. Yes, James Paxton is their only elite starter. However, the reason we came into this season thinking that the Mariners were going to have a bad pitching staff was that it was shallow. And based on last season, it seemed injury prone. However, this year, the pitchers thus far have held. They have not gotten injured. Injury luck is not necessarily predictable year to year. And you've got guys like Mike Leake and, yes, Felix Hernandez, who, while not performing at James Paxton level, are above replacement level starting pitching, which when paired with the Mariners lineup, which even missing Robinson Cano is pretty good, means you got a pretty good team. They've also added to their bullpen with Colomé, and pairing him with Edwin Diaz, who is arguably the best closer in baseball right now. You've got a great 1-2 punch. So that's all said. Yeah, the Astros will probably beat them in the long run. That said, I look at the Brewers and I go, hey, the Cubs are better. Look at their run differential. The Cubs are going to catch the Brewers. And if they aren't, the Cardinals are going to catch them. The Brewers are creaking right now. They lost 3 in a row. They're only a half game up on the Cubs. You got to be kidding me. You look at the NL West. The Diamondbacks, you think they're going to hold on with the Dodgers and Rockies and Giants all within a game and a half? Come on. Get out of here. Out of that. The Mariners, we're talking about the AL West as if that's like some hotshot division. Well, there's a team in the AL West that could have been contenders, and that is the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, who have 2 good players. They've got 3 good players. The shortstop, whose name I'm blanking on, he used to be on the Braves. He's great. Yeah, great. But Andrelton Simmons, yeah, fine. Get out of here. Get out of here right now. Mike Trout is great. They've got Shohei Ohtani. You know what's not happening anymore this year? Shohei Ohtani playing baseball. Okay. Sprained UCL out for 3 weeks. Yeah. If he's back in 3 weeks, I will come on this podcast and castigate myself again. Fine. Whatever. It ain't happening, baby. So then you look at the wild card. Yeah, the loser of the Red Sox and the Yankees is getting one of those wild card slots. That leaves the Mariners, baby. We're going to the playoffs. It's happening. Get excited. I will not sit here and hear otherwise. Mariners, good enough that they don't deserve the heat they've been getting. I'm angry. I'm mad. The Brewers and Diamondbacks, both more likely to fall. The Mariners, yeah, they probably won't win the division, but I don't think they're the most likely to fall. That's what's happening. Give me that Paxton. Give me that Maple. Also, by the way, if his nickname was going to be anything, K-Pax, wouldn't it be J-Pax? Come on.
Yeah, but he strikes people out.
Yeah, sorry, Mike's right on that one. He does strike people out.
No, his name is James people would get, he's an alien from Canada, a legal alien. Come on, guys.
Well, Spike, it's well known that personal desperation and a kind of level of panic that betrays a deep insecurity about one's team.
This team's so bad. It's so bad, guys.
Is always a bonus here on Take It or Break It, so I'm going to have to 4 point you on that one.
Ooh.
Oh, God.
Are you okay? Are you okay? Or
I didn't think that the first question I would have to listen to the Seattle Mariners get ripped apart for 6 minutes. I didn't know that.
Look, we could talk about Felix Hernandez being quote unquote above replacement level. That was a stretch, and we both know it.
Hey,
there's a lot of stretching in there.
Mike Leake. We love Mike Leake right now. We love Mike Leake. I gotta let's find it. Oh, come on, Felix, do it for me one time.
It's technically
he's negative point. He's negative 0.2 by BWAR.
Oh wow. Ooh.
Yeah, Fangraphs gives him like a 0.3.
There we go.
Yeah. You know, the five ERA. It's
Sullivan's juice in that though. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fair point.
Yeah.
All right. What's next?
Jeff Sullivan, by the way, welcome on the show anytime. I don't know why
he's the man. He's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm making jokes about you here. Question 0.5. What?
Oh, dun.
Beethoven's Fifth? Really? Okay. Another bonus question. Can you offer a take on Ovechkin and the Capitals winning in the Stanley Cup? Piellucci, you first.
Yeah. So right after it happened, the great Dirk Nowitzki, tweeted that congratulations to him, and he deserved it. And I got to thinking about it, and there are a lot of parallels between the Dirk Mavericks ring and the Ovechkin Stanley Cup. Both ages 32 going on 33, both regarded prior to said championship as incredible, but lots of hot takes about how they could not win the quote-unquote big one. Both in Nowitzki's case with the Spurs and Tim Duncan, and in Ovechkin's case with the Penguins and Sidney Crosby, losing more than they won against one great conference rival before they could get to said Stanley Cup. And both by winning last night, thankfully and deservedly, not only getting a championship, but making everybody shut the fuck up. And it is just for the betterment of the world. And so while their politics are very different, and while Ovechkin believes some shit that's not that cool on a human level, the fact is he is a pretty remarkable hockey player and the best scorer of his generation. And it's pretty rad that he won it Dirk style, and now everybody has to shut up and just respect that he's good instead of wondering if he'll ever win.
Dirk, or what is Ovechkin's weird political beliefs?
He's like very pro-Putin, I feel like.
Right,
I don't. Yeah. He's like very pro-Russian, and all that comes with that.
2 points, Mike. Hey, I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
There is an NBA draft prospect who has unsavory political opinions. Do you know who it is and what those opinions are?
Oh, no. I mean, I just gave it away that I don't.
I'm going to assume it's Grayson Allen, and it's I don't know.
I said a prospect, Spike.
Hey-o,
not a
shots fired.
Not. All right, just curious.
Who is it?
I mean, here's the thing. It seems like nobody will say in public.
What?
Yeah, like everybody on basketball internet kind of knows.
Corbin, you can't tease us. You can't tease your listeners.
That's fair. Okay, that's fair.
Just give us like a hint.
Let's say that he is an alma mater of Spike's Institution of Higher Learning.
What?
Spike?
Spike went to UPS. I thought you went to UW.
No, I didn't. I didn't go to either of those.
Where'd you go?
I went to Williams College in Western Massachusetts. D3 powerhouse. Well, I was like, God.
Never mind.
UW. Wait, is there like?
Where'd you think he went?
I thought he went to Washington for a second, but I was totally wrong.
Who's coming out of Washington this year?
Yeah.
Are we sure this is a prospect?
Oh yeah.
Chris?
No. He's in this year's draft.
Wait, am I crazy? I'm crazy, aren't I?
About Jonathan Spencer Hawes back in the day certainly had terrible politics.
You know what?
I've got a great Spencer Hawes story, by the way.
I want to apologize. He didn't go to Washington. He's just from Seattle.
But he really dropped the ball.
Yeah, I've really fucked up. It's Michael Porter Jr. Look up Michael Porter Jr. Yeah. I'm just saying, people have a lot to say about, certain presidents he might actively support.
Oh, no. As somebody whose team is picking fifth, and I'm like very lukewarm on Mohamed Bamba, and I've tried to talk myself into Michael Porter and his janky back, this is not helping the cause.
You know, I think Bamba's going to work out.
I don't piss. Like the Mavericks, if you actually look throughout history, have never outperformed their lottery standing in the actual draft. It's almost always worse, occasionally the same spot. So let me tell you, I was in Europe when this shit happens. I wake up in the morning because the time changed, all that, and I look and I'm just livid. Meanwhile, my wife, big Suns fan, so good for her. But I don't know, man. I'm. You got to understand, I've rooted for a team that, other than Tyson Chandler, has just had tall, stiff dudes in the post get dunked on all the time. And I could totally see this guy getting like Sean Bradley destroyed. I hope I'm wrong if they go with him. I'm really hoping that the conspiracy theories of Luka Doncic not going 2 or 3 somehow come to pass. But if not that, then I'm on the Jaren Jackson train.
What's your Spencer Hawes story, Piellucci?
So my Spencer Hawes story, which was told to me not by this person, but it's a matter of like pretty much public record if you know Washington and basically friends of friends. But basically, there was a reporter in Los Angeles who was Spencer Hawes' high school sweetheart, and they had dated, and they had apparently split up, and this all came to light because she told another reporter friend, that she had dated Spencer Hawes, and this is immediately followed by "Do not Google us," which of course A means you're gonna Google, and B means there's something to Google. So this is a matter of public record here. Apparently, there were rumors that she was unfaithful to him, and this was apparently very public knowledge in the Pacific Northwest. And when they played, I believe it was Oregon, because of course Oregon fans would do this. This is during Hawes.
Piellucci?
Yeah. What?
Say that again. This is during Hawes.
Oh, his one and done year at UW. They're playing, I believe it was Oregon. And the entire student section knew this. And the entire student section, every time he shot free throws, chanted, "Lindsay cheated." Oh. And he was, as they say, shook. And quite frankly, I'd be shook too. That's not a failing on Spencer.
Not even Spencer Hawes deserves that.
He does not.
Come on, Oregon fans.
Do I get my NHL take?
Oh yeah,
now?
Yeah. What's your Stanley Cup take?
First, can I just say Spencer Hawes 100% deserves it. Spencer Hawes is a dreadful human being who should be he should be deported. I don't know what should happen. Something horrible should happen to Spencer Hawes.
Fair, this is
by the way, Mike,
his politics were already dreadful at 18.
Mike, did I give you points for that?
Yeah, you gave him 2 points.
Oh, cool. Never
for
mind.
Hockey, but you didn't give me points for my Spencer Hawes story.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't. Spike, what's your hockey take? Oh, first off, Spencer Hawes, bad guy. Yeah, probably deserved to get cheated on.
100%.
Jordan Peterson voice. Don't cheat on Spencer Hawes. He's a tall boy. Okay, continue.
So my take is I agree with most of what Piellucci said. I really am glad that Ovechkin is not going to be one of those great players for whom a single adversary who he could not get past haunts his career, and he can evolve from the Karl Malone phase to the Jerry West phase of his life. I'm happy for him in that regard. That said, I'm heartbroken for all of the lifelong hockey fans in Las Vegas. And it's devastating to me that this happens at their expense. So while, again, I'm very proud of Alexander
You're heartbroken for them that they did not win in their very first season.
I know, it's hard.
I am devastated.
Did you see Bryce Harper crying up there?
Oh, God. The lead singer of the Killers, the bassist of the Killers.
The Blue Man Group. How could you do this to the Blue Man Group?
Devastated guys.
Yeah, Thunder from Down Under. I mean,
Dottie and Marie. Brittany, what's Brittany doing in all this?
Steve Wynn, Ricky Martin. Look, you go up and down the strip and you're just devastated. And so for me, that's really, I wish he could have done it any other year.
Let's call that a one-pointer, Spike.
I don't know much about hockey, guys.
Yeah, it's all right. Nobody does. Nobody does, except for Mike, who's just knows about every sport in like a sort of unnerving savant way.
A little bit.
His take was really good. I was sitting here, I was like, oh, that was a real good take.
Yeah,
thank you.
Although you did almost compliment Jerry West. Watch yourself.
Me? Oh, that was a bit, Corbin. I was trying to.
Okay, all right.
I know your feelings on Jerry West. Come on, buddy.
The show only has one rule, which is don't compliment that monster. Question 2. Back to Beso, baby. The other day, Max Scherzer, a pitcher with 2 different colored eyes, threw an immaculate ending against the Rays, fanning 3 hitters, Johnny Field, Christian Arroyo, and Daniel Robertson, 9 pitches, 9 strikes, his second immaculate of his career. Now, you have both watched this inning, seen all 9 of its perfect pitches, and I have a question. Which of these pitches is the best one, and why? Spike, you first.
Yeah, I have to go with pitch 8. So if you watch the sequence of pitches, on both of the first 2 batters he faces, Scherzer gets the strikeout on a changeup, 84 to 86 mile an hour change with unbelievable split action. I mean, it looks like something Eric Gagne was throwing when he was popping roids, like they were, I don't know, Pop-Tarts, something he popped on. Yeah. He was just, look, what Scherzer's doing is incredible. But you look at pitch 8, and he is redefining the eye line of the hitter by going high, and he just gets the foul off. He just gets it. It's the decision he has to make to reset that third at bat to be able to get that third 3-pitch strikeout, and it's risky. And the contact is made because, these guys are sitting fastball. Second pitch, you're sitting fastball, and he goes fastball. He challenges him up top. He gets the foul ball, and it sets up pitch 9, which is another high fastball. So he gets swinging strikeouts on 2 changeups and then a fastball. But the way that fastball is really set up is with pitch 8, another fastball, destabilizing that third hitter. Scherzer, master of deception. And I'll say this. I looked it up because I always forget. Max Scherzer, not Jewish. And if you Google Max Scherzer Jewish, you get a whole list of players that are not Jewish, but lots of people Google. That includes John Lieber, Lance Berkman, B.J. Rosenberg, J.J. Putz, which is hilarious to me, just because Putz is a Yiddishism for being a dope. John Lowenstein, not a Jew. Phil Klein, not a Jew. Mike Jacobs, not a Jew. Walt Weiss, not a Jew. Max Scherzer, not a Jew. So it's always going to be disappointing to me when I have to reckon with the fact that Max Scherzer is a first ballot Hall of Famer who uses both his intellect, his fastball, and his unbelievable changeup to great effect. But watching this, it was the intellect to go high fastball pitch 8 rather than waiting for pitch 9. So, yeah.
Spike, that's a 5-point take.
David Eckstein's also on that list.
Not Jewish David Eckstein.
Jewish. The X Factor.
Bergman is so weird because there's only one reason to think Berkman might be Jewish.
The fact that there's men at the end of his name?
Yeah. Everything else about Berkman is like
his
goyish.
politics were extremely not that.
Yeah.
Yes. He is.
Well, he might have opinions about Israel, but
oh boy,
that's not the good kind.
I also like Kevin Mensch is on here again because that's a Yiddishism is Mensch, but he spells it different.
Felix Hernandez, of course, is on there. Piellucci, what is the best pitch?
So Spike's analysis is wonderful, and all of these pitches are pretty ridiculous because Max Scherzer is probably the best pitcher in baseball right now. But
what about Verlander?
It's still Max got it's still Max.
Okay.
Max has been Max has been on this plane for several years now, and Verlander has just reascended back to it. But I'm still going old Max. Anyways, I would say it's actually a different change, which is pitch number 3, in which the dude overswings so hard that he drops to a knee, which I don't have any fundamental analysis of this craft other than to say that the equivalent of getting dunked on in baseball is when you overswing so hard and miss that you fall down to your knee. That is basically Max Scherzer tomahawking it right in your fucking face. So that is the best one because it is the most embarrassing to the hitter. The end.
Piellucci? 5-point take.
Oh!
Yeah, that's a good take.
I'm sorry. That's just a pair of excellent takes, fellas. I should do things about incredibly specific moments more often. That's how blown away I am by these takes. Question 3. World Cup! It's here, baby. All your favorite teams. Brazil, Spain, Germany, France, Belgium, Argentina, Portugal, Uruguay, England, Croatia, Colombia, Switzerland, Poland, Russia, Mexico, Iceland, Denmark, Iran, Nigeria, Sweden, Morocco, Japan, Serbia, Egypt, Senegal, South Korea, Peru, Costa Rica, Tunisia, Australia, Saudi Arabia, and who can forget, Panama! It's a collection of countries, baby, and they're all playing soccer! Now, I don't care about who might win, at least not now. But what I want to know is, are any of these teams that probably aren't going to make it out of their group stage going to do any fun shit I absolutely have to see? Acceptable happenings include giving up a lot of goals, scoring a lot of goals, starting an international incident, or taking up political tensions between nations on the field. Piellucci, you first.
Yeah, let's go with the Russians.
Whoa.
Yeah, let's do it because they are the host nation, which means the host nation always has the dubious honor of, because you automatically qualify, it's how much do you embarrass yourself? Because, a lot of, like when South Africa was there, right? South Africa wasn't going to get in the World Cup unless they agreed to host this whole damn thing. Like, you're not going to be there. So how much is the badge of honor of hosting this whole thing and the diplomatic prestige that you get by playing host to everyone offset by your own personal embarrassment to your country firsthand? So that's always fun. Second of all, Russia is basically they're the type of team that has good players but often underachieves, which is always a good time because you could see them playing to potential and making some noise, or you could see them embarrassing themselves. And if they do that, does Vladimir Putin just go ahead and summarily execute someone after the game to send a message about embarrassing Mother Russia on the global stage? So many possibilities. They also have some 22-year-old Russian attacking midfielder whose name I don't remember, but I know he plays for CSKA Moscow, who is more or less like every year there's always a few dudes at the World Cup who, if their personal careers are on the line, because if you play well, you're going to get some big money transfer, and if you don't, you won't. And that's especially prevalent in the Russian league, where a lot of dudes just get stuck there. So this guy, he's been rumored to Arsenal, among other teams, and if he has a big World Cup, he might be able to escape the tundra and go play in London for lots and lots of money. And if he doesn't, he might be stuck there, and I don't know, maybe he's the guy that Putin decides to execute after a shameful Russian performance. So there's a lot of variance, a lot of stakes, a lot of possible death and embarrassment for Russia. So I'm intrigued.
3-point take, Mike. Spike.
Well, I'm going to stick in Group A and not go with the team favored to advance out of the group, because you asked for a team that is not favored to advance out of the group, Corbin. So I'm going to give you Egypt.
Hey,
let's talk Egypt.
Hey, Spike.
Yeah.
Russia's not favored to advance. Uruguay is.
There two teams come out of every group, baby. Two teams.
Egypt has the third best player in the world. Russia's
I'm going to get into that because there's a lot of drama. Is Mohamed Salah going to play? If he plays, is he going to play all 3 matches? If he plays all 3 matches, is Luis Suarez, fellow Liverpool legend, going to bite him on the pitch if he scores an early goal? Mo Salah is currently arguably the Ballon d'Or favorite. If Egypt gets out of this group, he will break up the duopoly of Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo unless one of them wins the World Cup. If Egypt gets out of the group and neither Argentina nor Portugal wins the World Cup, Mohamed Salah will win the Ballon d'Or, and he'll be the first non-Messi Ronaldo winner in almost a decade. So that is stakes galore for a team that is currently not favored to make it out of the group. But we don't even know if he's going to play because of the Champions League final pantomime villain Sergio Ramos decided to rugby tackle him by his shoulder, dislocating his shoulder. If Salah plays, he will be doing so through pain. What else do you need to know about Mo Salah? Well, he's a delight. He's an amazing player to root for. He smiles. He is a legend in Egypt. And if you look at him, he is an ambassador for the faith of Islam in England. He is changing perceptions about Islam around the globe, which brings us back to Group A, where not only does Egypt play Uruguay with Luis Suarez, Russia, the home country, with the notably murderous Vladimir Putin leading things, but also Saudi Arabia. We could end up with an Egypt-Saudi Arabia match for the battle of the Middle East, the battle for the soul of the Islamic world. And I'm telling you, there is nothing better that you could ask for from a team that is not currently favored to advance from their group, unlike the team that Mike took that is currently favored, ever so slightly ahead of the team that I'm picking. Watch Egypt. Root for Egypt. Believe in Egypt. The pharaohs must triumph. Unify the kingdoms. Mohamed Salah. They don't have anyone. They got El Nene from Arsenal. Look, it's going to be tough. They haven't even been in the World Cup since 1990. It's a great time to be alive. Egypt forever. Russia never.
All right, Spike. First off, I just want to say I don't know enough about soccer to judge who's going to get out of the group. So those criticisms of Mike have fallen on deaf ears. But I do love Pan-Arabism. And
I know that about you.
Corbin Smith, noted fan of Pan-Arabism.
And a lot of enthusiasm in that take. And so, Spike, you have been awarded 5 points.
Oh. I need to raise the volume. I think that's what I need to be doing here.
Wow. Oh,
he happened to have, over the course of these questions, really hit my heart as both a Liverpool and Mariners fan. So yeah. I'm bringing the volume up just out of
Why are you a Liverpool fan?
It's less obnoxious than being an Arsenal fan, which is less obnoxious than being a fan of either Manchester or Chelsea. It's really
that's a big part of it, but it is disgusting. So I was like a light Liverpool fan for a while, and then they bought Luis Suarez, and I was like, ooh, I'm in love with this guy. And then it turned out that was an abusive relationship for old Spike. Rooting for Luis Suarez is not delightful in the way that rooting for Mo Salah is.
Did Luis bite you, Spike?
He bit my heart so many times.
Yeah. Honestly, I respect Suarez for biting dudes.
Yes, the biting dudes is fine. The other stuff, the racist stuff, is less fine.
Oh, pardon me. Ugh.
And I don't want to wade into that. There's a lot of got to hear both sides on that, but I'll just say it's less fine.
Do you have an opinion on this on English Premier League soccer, Piellucci?
My team is Inter Milan, so they're Italian, so I follow Italian soccer a lot more.
All right.
So the EPL, me and my dude, a friend of the program, Colin McGowan, we spend a lot of our time talking about things that are not the EPL. Yeah, because everybody talks about the EPL. But I've had an on and off flirtation with Liverpool throughout the years. I always liked Steven Gerrard, and I very much enjoy Borussia Dortmund. So when they brought in Klopp, I was all about that. And I think their team is going to be stacked next year. If and when they buy Alisson from Roma or Gianluigi Donnarumma from AC Milan. So there you go. There's an EPL take for you, Corbin. I always got something. Unless it's NASCAR. I got no NASCAR takes.
Really? I'm actually a little surprised about that.
No, that's Goot. Goot knows the NASCAR shit. I couldn't care less about NASCAR.
Goot has been known to enjoy a thing that everybody else hates.
He knows himself a racer, too. He likes the race. The racing.
Question 4. Hey, is the World Cup better without America? Isn't watching the world imperial power get fucking cucked fun and good? Isn't rooting for them a fucking bummer? Like, if you were born in literally any other country, wouldn't you be overwhelmed with glee watching them get fucking owned by Mexico or Iran? Piellucci.
Yes, 100% it is better without the United States. A, for everything you just said. B, because there is nothing more obnoxious than watching this crap team play crap football. And by the way, this is excluding Christian Pulisic, who is marvelous and wonderful and is legitimately the actual answer to all the American hype over the years. But they just I mean, look, we've all been over this. We know that the team has great physical athletes, even though they don't get the best athletes in the country. We also know that most of them don't have any technique because we don't train that here, because we live in a country that rewards club coaches for victories over the process behind that, which is basically microcosm of the entire American experience. So I don't want to watch our terrible team play terrible looking soccer and then get hyped for being scrappy, when the fact of the matter is they're just kind of bad at stuff, which then leads to, I am tired of American soccer fans, and I have been for so damn long, about talking up anything, either the men's national team or MLS or both, constantly as if we are closing the gap, when in reality we have produced one, maybe two amazing potential talents, with Wes McKinney over at Schalke being the second one. And the common denominator is that they left this crap country to go do it elsewhere, and yet people just still will not grasp onto the idea. And I'm tired. I'm tired of listening to it. I'm tired of watching. I need a break. I need this team to swallow its humble pie. And the, of course, hilarious reality is, if and when this happened and everybody was talking about revolution and we need to change the system, well, what did they do? They just appointed Sunil Gulati's deputy to run the federation next, which shows that they haven't learned, and they probably will never learn. And that if you want to be a great American soccer player, you just basically need to give the finger to the entire American domestic system and go overseas and learn how to play in a real fucking country, in a real league. So yes, it is better without us. Our sanity is better without us. And the people who like this team are just obnoxious. Shout out to my dude Liam Pierce, who I love to death, but just I can't do it sometimes watching this team.
Liam, the world's saddest USMNT fan.
He is, and I love him dearly. But so no, it is much better without us, and we should be happy.
Mike, you were borderline, but the second you said America wasn't a real fucking country, that became a 5-point take. I know I'm giving them out like candy today, but they're just fiery. What am I supposed to do? Spike. Mike, sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, you finally hit an issue that tugged at my heartstrings, and I injected that Spike Friedman passion into things, and it worked out.
Yeah. Spike.
America, garbage country. But it is not good that we are not in the World Cup, because our humiliation was too quiet, too unexpected, too invisible. Not enough will change, because we died at the hands of Panama beating Mexico in like this little three-way bit of nonsense that happened on a random Tuesday when no one was watching. We should be in Panama's slot playing Belgium, England, and Tunisia, and we should be going 0-3 in those matches, losing not only to England, led by beautiful man Jordan Henderson, not only to Belgium, led by Eden Hazard, but also losing to Tunisia. Then and only then would America have been humiliated sufficiently for us to know our place in the world of soccer, for the likes of Christian Pulisic to finally escape the gravity of humiliation that is America. And furthermore, in the vacuum that is the absence of America in the World Cup, everything's still annoying. Like, I saw the cover of Sports Illustrated that was like, here's why America should root for Mexico, which, like, fine, but also, like, they're our rival nominally, and I don't need that. Like,
can I say something? I root for Mexico.
Sure, fine. I don't have
actively.
Any problem with it. I don't care either way. I don't want to have to care. And now I do. I look at the rest of the lineup. There's no Italy. There's no Holland. There's no, there's no, like, fun other thing to get behind. There's no cool European. It's just like, I would have been laser focused on America getting our asses handed to us in the way that we deserve, and I'm not going to get that. And so I feel like I have humiliation blue balls for American men. And I don't care for it. So while I agree that America does not deserve to be there, they also deserve humiliation and suffering that they are not receiving.
5 points.
This is just like the World Series last year, where just people are ripping off home runs.
Yeah,
it's a good battle. It's completely just breaking the scale of what we previously thought the show was.
Yeah. There's been a campaign on Fox, who's airing the World Cup, as I recall. That's like, hey, you can't root for America, but you can root for your European heritage. Ow, ow, ow.
Well, guess who? What has two thumbs? Right? Is Italian American and can't do either. This guy.
Yeah, exactly. Like Italy's not. It's such a travesty.
Also, that's gross.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, the idea that they are selling kids to do genetic testing because America didn't make the World Cup is awful.
And you need to know what white person to root for.
Yeah, just root for Egypt, baby.
Yeah, Egypt. Or Iran.
Yeah.
It's a real shame Saudi Arabia and Iran couldn't get in a group together this year.
It's true, but if Iran makes it, that means Cristiano Ronaldo probably doesn't. So that'd be fun.
Question 5. Our last question about the World Cup. Which soccer player is most thoroughly let down by his country of birth? Piellucci.
The answer to this is a man who is not in the World Cup field for precisely this reason, which is poor old Gareth Bale, who inherited the mantle from Ryan Giggs as that really fucking good British guy who happened to be born in Wales and therefore will never win jack shit internationally. Like, Gareth is strolling around, still near the peak of his powers, as evidenced by some of the goals he put together in Real Madrid's latest Champions League winning run. And yet he goes to international duty and he looks around and everybody is just like 5 degrees just worse than him. It's not even close. The same way it was with Giggs when Giggs was one of the best wingers in the world. Well, that's Gareth Bale now. And not to say that things would be like peachy if he were with England. Like, they still wouldn't be a World Cup winning caliber team, but him feeding Harry Kane balls is legitimately a powerful attack. I knew you.
Balls, huh?
Yeah, drop that out for you. Drop a little bait to see if you jump on the hook. So it would be a legitimate team, and he'd be able to play in the World Cup every year, and it would be fun for him. And England would potentially be frisky. Instead, he's with fucking Wales, which is terrible and will be terrible until the end of time, and there's no escaping from it.
3-point take, Michael. Spike.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a weird little way on this one. I'm gonna go with my favorite player, Roberto Firmino, who is Brazilian, but he is incredible. Roberto Firmino is an incredible
noted Liverpool player. Yep, is deemed incredible by Liverpool fans. Spike Friedman. But continue.
Yeah. So the thing that Roberto Firmino does really well, better than anyone else in terms of attacking players in a major league, and he did it in Germany before he came over to England, and it's his defensive work rate and pressing on the ball is incredible. He is unbelievable at being annoying as hell and turning over the other team in dangerous spots on the field. Now, for most teams in the world, especially at the national team level where you have less coaching, the fact that Firmino's work rate and instincts do that would be incredibly valuable. If he was on Germany playing as their center forward, he would be constantly turning the ball over, feeding it to Thomas Muller in the half spaces, and just he'd get like 15 assists this World Cup. For Brazil, he needs an injury to get into the lineup because he doesn't look like a Brazilian player on the ball. He plays a different way than his country demands, and it means he's not going to maybe even see the pitch for 90 minutes, which is ludicrous. He's such a valuable player, and he's so instinctively good, and he isn't going to get the chance to show it unless Fred's injury is so severe he's not going to be able to play. Which
I forgot there's a Brazilian guy named Fred.
That's how you know you're running out of names. He's not even the first Fred in Brazil. We're recycling Fred.
This is Fred. Exactly. Roberto Firmino is stuck behind Fred 2 and Gabriel Jesus, who stole the name from the original Son of God. So, so for me, it's a weird way to go. Also, again, I don't mean to keep shooting shots at Mike, but for me, Wales isn't a country. You know what I mean? For me, I follow UN protocol.
It plays their own national team. It is.
I follow UN protocol and not FIFA protocol. They were absorbed into the United Kingdom. They are part of the United Kingdom.
Why doesn't
they worship my queen?
Why doesn't the United Kingdom play as a unified squad?
They should. Well, they all hate each other. That's why. I do love, though, how in tennis, like, the UK, like, you know, claimed Andy Murray from Scotland because they're like, well, there's no other way a British guy's winning Wimbledon. I guess he's ours.
All right. 4-point take, Spike.
Oh, man.
It was a good take. You know what,
I really
Spike?
believed in it.
5 points.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry. I know Mike, I'm sorry. I know I'm giving him out like candy today. I understand. It was just a really compelling take.
It's a compelling take made by a man who likes a player in his favorite team.
Yeah, but Mike, I don't have any context for that.
The context is that there is definitely a scenario in which he's right. However, Brazil will probably win the fucking World Cup without that guy because they don't need him because their attacking firepower, which is the entire identity of the entire country, is different than him. And it's not like he would make them noticeably better. They will win anyway. So, like, it isn't some great enduring tragedy.
He would make he would make them better.
Possibly, maybe.
I don't.
Not in a way that is going to demonstrably affect their odds versus poor Gareth Bale, who's still an incredible player. If he played for England, would actually be able to go to the World Cup every year, and they'd have a much better shot as having a world-class player in there.
Yeah, but, like, he's not even in the World Cup if you think about it.
Because his country goes let him down. That's why my take is better.
Oh, God.
Can I, before we get to the trivia portion, the thing in soccer where you have to play like your country demands is the dumbest shit imaginable. It drives me fucking nuts.
I don't know, because, like, I enjoy the fact that, like, this is a college football thing, too. Like, I enjoy the fact that certain entities have these intrinsic identities that make them seem...
But in college football, those things are institutional in a way that, like, involve who you hire. In countries, it's literally
yes
just...
and no, though. Like, because with, like, Nebraska, for instance. Nebraska ran the option for decades, and then they went pro-style, and it just didn't fucking work. It never had worked. Like, for some reason, the goddamn option is ingrained in the cultural identity of the school. So it becomes that way over time. And in soccer, it's more organic than that, which is why I think it flows even more naturally there. Like, Brazil, a lot of what you see is just institutionalized at a younger age, just because people fucking play that way there.
What if in Germany, the only acceptable way to be a German basketball player was to be a 7-foot shooter?
Cool, let's do it.
That'd be dope as hell, actually.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. But it would also be pretty goofy, right?
Just a team of 5 Dirks at all times.
Yeah, but you're also institutionalizing a height. Like, there's a difference between a stylistic way to play that you adapt to based on your body type versus, like, cloning people.
I'm pro cloning Dirk for whatever. I want to be on the record.
Listen,
who is
I am 1,000% for that.
Okay.
Spike, how do you feel about this?
About the national identity thing?
Yeah.
I think it's annoying because it ends up like it really restricts England from ever being anything other than like not so good, which is like very lame because England squad is like full of cool players right now, like Raheem Sterling and Dele Alli and like Harry Kane. Like, that's a really cool attacking band, and they're not gonna do it right. Like even with Southgate managing, like they're a little better, and like they actually like. Oh God, I'm gonna get myself in trouble right now. But like, I think England is like kind of good this year, but I thought they were kind of good in 2014 too, and I was wrong. But like, I don't know. Like, I think what sucks more is like the reputational like sadness around certain countries that like they can't escape. The only team we've seen genuinely throw off the shackles of failure is Spain. And that's over the entire existence of the World Cup. It was like, oh, if you haven't won it by whatever, like 1978, you're never going to win it unless you literally have the greatest generation of players of all time. And so, like, I don't like that aspect of it. That's not really an answer. I don't know. It's also like soccer evolves, and national team is always going to be behind because they don't practice as much. So,
Good point.
yeah.
Well, what a wonderful and spirited takes throwdown. But it's time to leave the dominion of opinion and stroll into the glorious palace of concrete fact. I have with me right here a Trivial Pursuit sports trivia card from 1983. I will read off the questions from the card. And the moment you think you know the answer, the 1983 answer, press your buzzer by saying your name. Let's practice pressing our buzzers real quick.
Mike.
Spike.
Wonderful job. Kind of. I will issue 1 point for a correct answer, which I'll also give you a chance to offer a take on the topic. Good take. It's worth 1 point. A scorcher is worth 3. Do we all understand?
Mm-hmm.
Spike.
Question 1. What 1980-81 Continental Basketball Association club was the Golden Nuggets?
Mike.
I'm
Denver.
sorry, it is not the Denver Golden Nuggets.
Spike.
Yes.
Las Vegas?
I'm sorry, it's not Las Vegas. It is Montana.
Whoa.
Montana reached the CBA finals in 1981 and 1983 with George Karl earning Coach of the Year honors both seasons. Karl would also go on to lose the finals in the NBA, as well as the goodwill of his players. Question 2.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Seattle.
Shots fired.
Question 2. What USFL team used Burt Reynolds and Lonnie Anderson to hype interest in 1983?
Oh, God. Mike? Los Angeles Express?
I'm sorry, it's not the Los Angeles Express.
Shit.
Spike.
Galveston?
I'm sorry, it is not the Galveston.
I don't think that's a team.
Murderers.
Oh, I think it was.
I don't know what
No,
Galveston.
there was San Antonio. I don't think there was Galveston.
Oh, yeah.
What team was it, Corbin?
No, Galveston Grave Robbers?
What?
Is that a team?
That's a hideous name for a team.
I just made that up. So, what's San Antonio? I'm an idiot. Sorry, guys. San Antonio Gunslingers.
It is the Tampa Bay Bandits. The team was named after Smokey and the Bandit, the famous movie about a car. Burt Reynolds was in the movie, and Lonnie was his girlfriend at the time. Also, Steve Spurrier was the Bandits coach all 3 seasons, so that's pretty cool.
It is.
My mom was Lonnie Anderson's computer tutor for a brief time in the mid-'90s. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. That was post Hulk Hogan.
Oh.
Do
Yeah.
you have anything else to say about this? Or?
Nope.
Okie doke. Question 3. What American sailed to gold in the pole vault at the 1968 Summer Olympics?
Mike. Dick Fosbury.
I'm sorry, it's not Dick Fosbury.
Fosbury flop? Oh, no, that's not pole vault. That hurt.
Jump.
Yeah, high jump. Shit. I don't know.
I don't know either, but I knew it wasn't Dick Fosbury. So,
well, I'm afraid that we don't give out points for knowing something is wrong.
Spike, not Ronald Reagan.
No, that's not how it works. The answer is Bob Seagren. Not to be confused with the leader of the Silver Bullet Band. Seagren won in Mexico and went on to get silver in Munich. He also won a reality show athletic competition, so I think that's a lot of fun.
Good for him.
Question 4. What Illinois basketball hotbed hosted the first NCAA Division I tournament?
Mike?
I'm
Chicago?
sorry, it is not Chicago.
This is not going well.
Spike. This is a really hard card, Spike.
Champlain.
I'm sorry, it's not Champaign. It was Evanston.
Oh.
Well, how is that a hotbed?
I don't know.
Well, we all remember Northwestern Wildcat superstar Redacted. I don't know. I have no idea.
It was in 1939, and yes, the University of Oregon, the Fighting Ducks, won.
Quack, quack.
Quack, quack. Question 5. What pitcher won 27 games in 1972, the most ever with a last place team?
Spike. This is wrong. Marshall?
I'm sorry, it is not Marshall or Marshall.
On Marshall.
Mike? I feel like he may have pitched before this, but Bob Gibson?
I'm sorry, it's not Bob Gibson. It is Steve Carlton.
So with the Phillies?
Yes, it was his first year with the Philadelphias, where He would go on to win the World Series in 1980. Last question. How many NCAA basketball championships did Bill Walton help win?
Spike.
3? Sorry, it is not 3.
Mike.
Whoa.
Mike.
4.
Mike. You know that freshmen weren't allowed to play on the varsity team in the 70s, right?
They lost to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I forgot about the freshman thing.
Sorry.
I did too.
Wow, that was a rough round.
That did not go well.
Anyway, it was 2. I also thought it was 3. But UCLA lost in the second to last round to David Thompson in North Carolina State in 1974.
Oh, NC State. I thought they lost to Notre Dame.
No, Notre Dame. No, they didn't. NC State won. I think they won the whole tournament, if I recall. But they beat UCLA.
In
1974. All right.
1974. Oh, Notre Dame broke UCLA's longest ever winning streak.
Yes, but in the tournament, they were.
I know. Okay.
Hey, I forgive you, man. Don't worry. Nobody's mad at you, Spike. As a matter of fact. 10, 15, 20, 25, 27.
Oh, yeah, he definitely won.
Yeah, 27-22. It is a victory for Spike Friedman. Spike, who do you want to thank?
Hey, I want to thank J-Pax himself, James Paxton. I want to thank Mohamed Salah, Jurgen Klopp, Roberto Firmino, all my
Bobby
beautiful
Firmino.
places red, George Karl, Sean Payton, who is the coach of the New Orleans Saints, and also the combination of Sean Kemp and Gary Payton.
Oh, thank you so much. Please promote things. Mike, you got anything coming out?
I do, man. Yeah, I have a piece that will be coming out later in the summer for The Ringer. I've got something that will be coming out in a couple weeks for a new outlet. I've got there's stuff in the lab, Corbin. There's stuff in the lab. Let's put it that way.
That's actually how you write, is you sit in front of beakers and you like pour one thing into another thing back and forth.
It is.
Yeah. Spike, what do you got?
I'm doing the Locked On Seahawks podcast still.
Yes, of course.
Got a piece on the Mariners going up on the Stranger later, whenever I finish it.
Whenever I give a fuck, who cares? Hey.
And I want to promote not looking at Twitter so much. It's been great for old Spike.
Lame. You can subscribe to the premium episodes of this podcast over on patreon.com/takeitorbreakit. Right now, me and John Wilms are talking about Michael Jordan.
Whoa, who?
Michael Jordan, the player. We are going
Never heard of him.
We are going through all of his greatest games. And,
Your first names sounds like a loser.
And talking about all kinds of paraphernalia. This week, you get to learn about a time he pants Tex Winter on camera.
Corbin, can I just say I genuinely regret not thanking Jerry West?
Well, minus 5 points for Spike, and 6 points actually, and congrats to Mike Piellucci.
Thank you very much.
No, that's not how it works. Come on. Check that out. $5 episode every week. We talk about weird old Michael Jordan stuff and weird old Jerry Krause stuff. That was an organization full of very strange people. Can I ask you guys one question before we leave?
Yes.
So Michael Jordan was like a weird psychopath.
Oh, yeah.
Is there like a soccer dude who was Michael Jordan-y who was also regarded as a weird psychopath?
Like, as in just malicious towards people, or just like really fucking weird? Like, where are we
just
going
like
with this?
really fucking weird and competitive in really weird ways.
I feel like a lot of the dudes who were like at Spike, like if we put our heads together, I'm sure we can come up with the answer to this. But I think a lot of the past generations were more weird just in the insane amounts of partying and drugs that they did, or women that they slept with and somehow were still good, as opposed to like they were typically having fun to be like, I'm personally going to destroy you. Like Maradona was just doing, sandbox piles of cocaine.
Did Maradona miss a World Cup because he liked cocaine too much? Is that a thing that happened?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
But like George Best partied all the time, slept with tons of women. So I feel like it's a lot more of like people who are just like, I could be even better than I was, but this is more fun. I don't know. Am I wrong? Am I forgetting someone obvious here, Spike?
Well, so like it's a different type of psychopath. Like Cantona, it was like a genuine psychopath.
Yeah, that's a good
but
one.
That's a different thing. He like literally karate kicked a fan at one point.
In the face.
Which is
also,
so
he had one of those. He had one of the all-time great moves that if you were anything less than like the fucking man, you could never pull off because it's so douchey. But like he would pop the collar on his shirt whenever he scored a goal, and he would keep it popped the rest of the match. But he would never pop it until he scored the first goal. But
so
the guy
good.
was, but he was never like it was. He was awesome. I
kind of wish that guy played
different.
baseball because I really feel like there should have been a legislation keeping that under control.
Corbin, you would be shocked to learn that this man was French, which is really just the perfect.
Gross.
Yeah, I'm like when I think about this, I'm kind of like there's like a weird. I don't. It's really tough because like if you were to like smush the worst parts of Messi and Ronaldo together, like if you took like Ronaldo's like vanity and branding and then Messi's like weird alienation stuff and you like smushed them into one guy, you might get there. Just thinking like more recent, but like if you go to the past, like you think about like the greats, like Johan Cruyff was like very competitive, but he didn't end up caring about winning in the end, and so like Holland never won, and like Beckenbauer wasn't Jordan-y at all. I don't know, man. I mean,
it could be Ronaldo. Like Ronaldo's just so fucking weird. Like, I mean, Ronaldo showed up with a kid one day, and everybody was like, "You have a child?" He's like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Where'd it come from?" He's like, "Don't worry about it." Just like literally, that was pretty much how it went down. And he doesn't seem to really like believe. I feel like it's not even. It's like a church of his own vanity. Like I don't think he literally believes in anything else other than himself. It's really weird. He's the least human I've ever seen an athlete be. Like I couldn't tell you anything about his personality.
Yeah, I'm like,
it's like an automaton come to life. So I feel like maybe that's the answer.
All right, cool.
I don't think oh man.
Like at least Jordan, cried after his father passed away, and that was that.
I mean, he was faking it because he murdered his father.
Jesus, Corbin.
Oh, do you think he was the trigger man?
Still too soon.
Hold on. I just want to be clear. Corbin, are you saying Jordan was the trigger man?
Look, at the very least, I'll say he regretted not being the trigger man.
Oh God!
If Zlatan were a little better, he might be Jordan. I don't know.
Spike, do you watch Riverdale?
Zlatan his personality though. Zlatan's fun.
Yeah.
Do I
watch
Ronaldo
Riverdale?
Was just like the hollowed out post-human version of Zlatan's vanity.
Yeah.
I think it's Ronaldo.
Yeah, I don't watch Riverdale.
Okay.
I do not either.
Okay. Spike, you should watch Riverdale. Mike, you're probably good.
What does that mean? Am I not good enough for Riverdale?
No. It's just like for Spike.
I can't tell which one of us is being insulted right now, but I think the answer is both.
In a way, yeah.
And on that note.
Anyway, thanks for doing it, guys. And thank you for listening. Please rate and review on iTunes, subscribe to the Patreon, and have a wonderful day.